Hi and welcome to the Booklab. I'm Björn, and it's that time of the month when we look at the new releases. And I thought maybe it would be kind of a slump before summer, not many non-fiction books getting released, but oh boy, was I wrong. This list was the longest ever and I had to trim it a little bit, but I'm going to present the most outstanding and most interesting looking releases for this month. We're going to talk about, of course, AI stuff. We have a Nobel Prize winners coming up with a new book about RNA. It's about games, Wall Street, money, the founding fathers. We're covering a lot of ground in this video, so let's start right away. The first book I want to talk about is Playing with Reality: How Games Shaped Our World by Clancy. A wide-ranging intellectual history that reveals how important games have been for human progress and what's at stake when we forget what games we are playing. And I love games. I'm a video game developer myself. I love playing games. I love reading about games people play, game theory, all of that. This is a great book, by the way, and so is this one, a psychological game called The Drama Triangle. Finite and Infinite Games, another great book. I have reviews of this. I can provide that in the description below. But the point is, I love games, and I often think about my life and my own progress as a video game, that I'm a video game character that keeps leveling up. In this revelatory new work, Clancy makes the bold argument that the human fascination with games is the key to understanding our nature and our actions. Playing with Reality explores the riveting history of games since the Enlightenment, weaving an unexpected path through military theory, political science, evolutionary biology, the development of computers and AI, cutting-edge neuroscience, and cognitive psychology. Neuroscientist and physicist Clancy shows how intertwined games have been with the arc of history. War games shaped the outcomes of real wars in the 19th century and 20th century Europe. Game theory warped our understanding of human behavior and brought us to the brink of annihilation, yet still underlies basic assumptions in economics, politics, technology, and design. To my ears, this sounds like a great book. The next book is more of a self-help book, Ben and Me, in search of a founder's formula for a long and useful life. And when we talk about Ben in this context, of course, we're talking about Ben Franklin, and I've been a big fan of this guy for a long time. I also have his autobiography here somewhere. Ben Franklin lingers in our lives and in our imaginations, one of the only two non-presidents to appear on US currency. Franklin was, of course, a statesman, he was a scientist, he was a humorist, he was a publisher, diplomat, inventor, philosopher, a true polymath. He believed in the American experiment, but Ben Franklin's greatest experiment was, well, Benjamin Franklin himself. Eric Weiner sets out on an ambitious and exciting quest to live the way Ben lived. If you follow this channel for a while, then you know Ben is one of my favorite peoples or figures from history for many reasons, and one of the reasons is his willingness to experiment, his childlike curiosity, and I also actually adopted some of the experiments that he did in terms of personal development and building routines, and there's just so much we can learn from this guy. So I just wanted to highlight this book. It's not a conventional biography. Ben and Me is a guide to living and thinking well, as Benjamin Franklin did. The author, Weiner, he argues that we are probably a little bit better off if we try to be a little bit more like Benjamin Franklin. The next book is The Trolls of Wall Street: How the Outcasts and Insurgents Are Hacking the Market. I'm really looking forward to this book because if you follow the channel, you know I've recently read The Bitcoin Standard by Saifedean Ammous. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but that book took me down a really big rabbit hole because I didn't know anything about Bitcoin or cryptography or anything like that, and it also highlighted some problems that we have in the monetary system, and I just got very, very, very deep into that rabbit hole. And I also ran into these Trolls of Wall Street that I think this book is talking about. Jamie Rogosinski and Jordan Sassara were not what anyone would mistake for traditional financial power players, but they turned Wall Street Bets, a subreddit focused on risky financial trading, into one of the most disruptive forces to bubble up from the fringes of the internet. This crude and unassuming message board harnessed the power of memes and trolling to create a new kind of online community. And maybe if you follow the financial market, then you notice this week that these guys are at it again with the GameStop stock, pumping up the price, making the people on Wall Street that have gone short on that stock just lose a lot of money and get liquidated. And it's such a crazy time. So I actually spent some time researching this kind of the GameStop stock story last week. So I was really happy to hear about this book, because this is quite an interesting thing. Quote, the dramatic story of an improbable gang of self-proclaimed degenerates. And what you seem to get with this book is an insider view into this quite fascinating subculture. Think Fortune, incels and cypherpunks. This is a new thing that I explored, and I would really like to read this book. Something for people who are interested in stock markets and trading, and also maybe the future of trading. And then we have The Catalyst, RNA and the Quest to Unlock Life's Deepest Secret by Thomas R. Cech. It's out on June 7th and it's 304 pages, exploring the most transformative breakthroughs in biology since the discovery of the double helix. A Nobel Prize winning scientist, this is this Thomas guy, right? So he unveils the RNA age. I'm not myself really sure what RNA is, but I guess we will find out. For over half a century, DNA has dominated science and the popular imaginations as the secret of life, so to speak. But over the last several decades, a quiet revolution has taken place in a series of breathtaking discoveries. The biochemist Thomas R. Cech and a diverse cast of brilliant scientists have revealed that RNA, long overlooked as the passive servant of DNA, sits at the center of biology's greatest mysteries. How did life begin? What makes us human? And why do we get sick and old? So, for all you biology and medical geeks, this might be the book of the month for you. It promises to give us some more insight in also longevity and how we can live longer lives. And this guy is seems quite credible as a Nobel Prize winner. And now we get into tech, and I noticed for every month there is more and more and more and more AI books coming out. I think I had like 5 that was in my top list, and I had to put a few on hold also because I'm a bit tired of it, but there are a few ones that have an interesting kind of angle to the whole problem. So we're going to talk a little bit about metaverses, genetics and biotech. So first out is Superconvergence. How the genetics, biotech and AI revolution will transform our lives, work and the world. It's by Jamie Metzel. It's 432 pages and it's out on June 12th. In Superconvergence, leading futurist Jamie Metzel explores how artificial intelligence, genome sequencing, gene editing and other revolutionary technologies are transforming our life, world and the future. This kind of sounds like something quite similar to the book, let's see, The Coming Wave, one of my favorite books in the recent months by Mustafa Solomon. I think one of the most interesting parts about this book is about genetics and how we will be able to manipulate the biological world. And it just touches on it a little bit, and you seem to get like more of a full picture in this book. These accelerating and increasingly interconnected technologies have the potential to improve our health, feed billions of people, supercharge our economics, store essential information for millions of years, and save our planet. But it can also, if we're not or careful, mess things up for us, and that's usually the premise in these books. Could be good, could also be more of the same. But we have another book that stood out to me that is called Our Next Reality, 208 pages. Quote, "Our next reality breaks new ground by exploring both the good and the bad possibilities of widespread deployment of AI-altered metaverse." So that's one of the box quotes here, and the metaverse was something that was very much talked about, was it 8 to 16 months ago, and it kind of, the hype has kind of slowed down. But the reason I want to read up on this is because my son, he admitted one of his biggest wishes in the world was to be able to build a portal so he can enter and live inside of Minecraft. And that sounded like a cute thing to say for a 9-year-old, and something that you shouldn't put too much weight on. But the more I think about it, it's a quite realistic future for him, who will grow up and be an adult in like 12, 14 years. There are non-trivial chance that he will actually live and spend more time in a metaverse world, in a game world, than in actual reality, and you could be able to do your work, have your social connections in cyberspace. Quote, "Over the last 100 years, technology has changed our world. Over the next decade, it will transform our reality." End quote. We are entering a new technological age in which artificial intelligence and immersive media will transform society at all levels, mediating our lives by altering what we see, what we hear, and what we experience. Powered by immersive eyewear and driven by interactive AI agents, this new age of computing has the potential to make our world a magical place where the boundaries between the real and the virtual, the human and the artificial, rapidly fade away. And another personal note, let me know if you don't, if you want to know only about the books and not my thoughts about them in the comments, then I can improve my format. But when I read through this now, I can think about, I tried out the Apple Vision Pro at work. One of the people at my job has one, and I tried it out, and I haven't tried like a virtual reality glasses for since they were basically the first Oculus glasses came out, and I was blown away. I just put this screen up in the virtual world and I could see the real world at the same time, made a massive screen, put on Godzilla and watched it in augmented reality. I turned on 3D on that movie that I put up on the wall, and it was just like the quality, the image stability, the image quality, and the immersion was just crazy. And I can see myself and most of all my kids get lost in that world, because it is more exciting sometimes than reality. So this is a book that I'm putting on my list. I think that's it for this month. So that's a ton of books. Let me know in the comments which one you would pick up this month, which one sounds more exciting for you. And before I end this video, I'm also going to talk about some of the upcoming reviews that will be posted on the channel. I post reviews and lists of top books and these kind of summary videos of summary of all the releases every month, and I'm just doing this all year round. So like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and it will pop up in your feed. Pick of the month, that is a tradition when I do this, and I haven't even planned any winner for this month, but I'm gonna be generous to myself. I'm gonna pick two. There were two that just stood out and felt like they were perfect timing, and books that I would pick up right now because of the interests that keep my attention at the moment, and because I'm so much into Bitcoin and those kind of instruments. I ran into the degenerate trolls on X, and I found that subculture truly unique, fascinating, a bit weird, and also disturbing. So the Trolls of Wall Street is one of my picks, and the second one will be Playing with Reality. It sounds like a really interesting book to see how games and human behavior go together and the history around that. So that's my picks I'm back next week with more videos. The next video will be a continuation of my new series about the great books list, where I rank all the best reading experience that I've had. I have a playlist for that I'm going to link to right here. We also have reviews coming up for The Sovereign Individual, Mastering the Transition to the Information Age. This book is amazing. It's quite old. It makes prediction about the future, but it's still spot on. It talks about how society needs to change and will change after the year 2000. That book has my full attention. Happy reading, everyone. See you soon. Björn out.